I know you hear me calling you. Thought you wanted some, but I see that you're all into front and ain't no future in your front, and so let's get it on.
And Lamar's playing great. I mean, on my all Belichick team, I made him the first half MVP.
Have we seen the best Lamar? He's got 2 MVPs. Have we seen the best? I don't even know.
It's got to be the best.
Because he might get better than this level, though.
What's so impressive about this is he's not surprising anybody because we've never seen anything like it before. But now we've seen it before, and he's still doing it. That's what's most impressive. And Lamar Jackson is still stunning the world 5, 6, 7 years in.
Because when you turn the tape on with Lamar Jackson looked like he is on a different planet than everybody else. He's playing at a different speed.
Lamar Jackson is balling out of control, doing everything in his power to lift up this Baltimore Ravens team and propel them to victory. But with the trade deadline come and gone, have the Baltimore Ravens done everything in their power to get this team to that ultimate goal, that ultimate pride?
Game recognized game, Granddad.
I recognize game.
Game recognized game, and you looking kind of unfamiliar right now. I can't. Where's Granddad? Can I help you, sir?
A lot of people yesterday were disappointed in the moves that the Baltimore Ravens made, and it was not just the fan base that felt this way.
It'll be Tre'Davious White and a 2027 7th-round pick going to Baltimore for a 2026 7th-round pick.
Nice move. Are they trading for a pass rusher? That's all I care about with Baltimore right now. Are they in the conversation for pass rushers or pass rusher or
at all?
Because you have to look at things from the outside looking in. If you are an analyst, if you are a fan of another team, you're looking at the Baltimore Ravens and seeing Lamar Jackson do amazing things week in and week out. He has elevated his game to heights that a lot of people did not foresee coming. He is 3rd in the NFL in passing yards, could be a lot higher, but he sat out some quarters. He really decided not to pass the ball, and yet and still he is 200 yards off of the lead. He also leads the league in quarterback rating with 120.7. And the scariest part for me is Lamar Jackson isn't even running the ball. He's not even trying to.
Everything was just going our way, and I really didn't have to run. Only, I think, one scramble. Yeah, that's I had to, though. Nobody was open.
What are teams going to do? How are teams going to prepare for us going forward if they know that Lamar Jackson can sit inside the pocket or, just dip to the left, dip to the right, and just hit these pinpoint passes down the field?
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go? Nope.
How are teams going to defend us? But as we've seen through the first 9 games of the NFL season, offense has not been this team's problem. The Ravens have not had any problem scoring points, getting touchdowns, or chewing up the clock. The biggest issue for the Ravens has been this season, and surprisingly to most of us out there, it has been this defense.
What the hell you say?
Now, Eric DeCosta, the general manager, he surprised me with his first trade for Deontay Johnson. I'm not gonna lie, I figured that he would go out there and get himself a pass rusher, get himself a safety, but he brought in a wide receiver. And a lot of people felt like he did a great job with this. Me personally, I think it was an okay move. He pretty much got a wide receiver that can come in and make plays for a song and a dance. But after this, a lot of people knew that the Baltimore Ravens weren't done in making moves before the trade deadline. And they pretty much took all day yesterday to make that final trade. It went down to the wire, but the Baltimore Ravens did go out and trade for Tre'Davious White, previously of the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Rams. Ravens flock is not happy with this move. Most people, myself included, thought that the Ravens needed a pass rusher. They needed someone to help put pressure on the quarterback because their first round pick, Odafe Owe, he's not getting it done. Second round pick, David Ajabo, he's a healthy scratch. $100 million man Nnamdi Madubuike is out there getting double teamed and he's losing his mind when he sees 2 people in front of him. And sadly enough, the most promising pass rusher that the Ravens have right now is Tavius Robinson. So we all thought that the Ravens would go out there and get themselves a nice new shiny pass rusher to unleash on the Steelers next week. Because even if they would have traded for somebody today, it would not be in time for me even personally to think that they would be ready to play the Cincinnati Bengals. It would be unreasonable unless they were a star pass rusher and could just come in and just wreck shop. but we knew this was a move going for the future, and the Baltimore Ravens didn't do it. And of course, when the details of the trade came out, a lot of people said, I get it now. Because along with Tre'Davious White, the Ravens got a 7th round pick in return. So they gave up a 7th to get Tre'Davious, and they got back a 7th and a cornerback. So this may be foreshadowing the kind of play that we're going to get going forward out of Tre'Davious White. You gave this man up for a 7th round pick in 2027 for a 7th round pick in 2026. Now, don't get me wrong. White has not always been what he is today. He is an 8-year pro that is a 3-time former All-Pro and a 2-time Pro Bowler. It's just that injuries have taken away from his speed and his skill set that had once been a promising career. I liked him. I thought that he was going to go out here and dominate for years. But for the last 4 years, he just could not get himself healthy. And this is where we have an issue of wondering if the Ravens are all in on this season. You have Lamar out here doing Lamar type things. You got Derrick Henry running the air out of the ball. And the defense is this team's Achilles heel. You had an opportunity during the trade deadline to bring somebody in and come help this team. So this is why I normally question, what are the Ravens doing? Are they really all in on a Super Bowl? Are they really trying to win? Because even when it came to the pass, when the offense was failing and the defense was balling, they didn't make any moves during the trade deadline to upgrade the offense. And now they're doing it to the defense. We clearly have a problem. It was clearly an issue with the Ravens and this defense, especially the pass defense. And what helps a pass defense? A pass rush. And EDC missed the mark. What is it about draft picks that this general manager feels like he needs to keep each and every pick? And when he makes a trade, he has to get a pick back in return. It is really befuddling to me why he covered something that he doesn't utilize properly, in my personal opinion. Now, if he were some draft guru and he were hitting on late round picks and bringing in guys that actually help this team, I could understand him wanting to keep them. But with so many misses, so many healthy scratches, so many inactives, I just don't get it. It is like he is having a Harlequin romance with these draft picks. First round picks, second round picks, fourth round picks. Ooh, you know I love you the best. Fifth round picks. Oh, yes. Oh, my pick. Oh, I love these picks so much. Oh, I'll never let you go.
And I will hug him and pet him and squeeze him.
So in summation, to me, the Ravens could have done a lot more and given up a lot more. Listen, the Pittsburgh Steelers went out and got Preston Smith for like a 6th round pick. You can't tell me that Eric DeCosta couldn't have done this. You can't tell me that Eric DeCosta couldn't have done something or made some kind of offer to get Zadarius Smith. And we know that it is very rare for division rivals to trade with one another. But once again, if you offer the right price, if you give up the proper compensation, people will trade anything to you because they were looking to unload this player. But of course, our general manager has to have 11 picks. He has to go into this draft and draft a backup punter or a future long snapper that's not going to help this team win.
Yesterday, Michigan, devastated by injury, experimented with their towel boy at wide receiver. But the towel boy ran into a laundry list of problems.
Who that? Who there?
We are focused on now. If you look at a lot of teams around the NFL, you can see that a lot of teams' Super Bowl windows come and go. Now, we will always be in a Super Bowl window as long as Lamar Jackson is here, but how long can we count on the people around him to stay at the level that they are at? You see what happened to the defense in one season. They went from first to worst, or at least one of the worst. So we can't count on this. This is the issue that I have had with Eric DeCosta for years. This is the issue that I've had with this team. And we can't put all of this on Eric DeCosta. It is not all his fault because John Harbaugh, I've said this for years, he has a say in the building. John Harbaugh, unlike many head coaches throughout the league, has an enormous amount of power within that building, being that he won a Super Bowl as the head coach. He has input like some others do not, and he relays a presence to when it comes to signing guys that are drafted. I understand that GM and head coach want to be in sync and want to be on the same page, but as the general manager, you need to put your foot down and say, listen, I don't care if we're neighbors, I don't care if we're friends. I am your boss, and do what is best for this team. You almost let Lamar go. You almost let that slip and fumble this franchise. Don't keep making these mistakes by just saying, you know what, we'll make do and hopefully next year we will get better. We don't know what's going to happen next year. We don't know if the Kansas City Chiefs are going to lose the Super Bowl this year and then next year go all in and bring in more talent and more firepower. We don't know what some of these other up and coming teams are going to do. So we need to take advantage of what we have right now. And what we have right now is the best version of Lamar Jackson. And while he's on this heater, let's take advantage of it and get him a defense that complements this offense. And I heard somebody on Twitter yesterday say, well, you don't know who's going to get released. So that's your plan. You want to wait until somebody gets released week 10 and think that they're going to come in here and become a starter. This is the nonsense that I hear day in and day out to take up for the incompetence of other people. And yes, I'm calling it incompetence because this was a prime opportunity for Eric to go get a player. And a lot of these players went for 5th round picks or later. So you don't lose any of your precious first. You don't lose any of your precious thirds. You don't lose your most valued 4th round picks. And you could have gone and got somebody that made a difference. So once again, I lay this question to you, Eric DaCosta. Are you all in on a Ravens Super Bowl this year?
Nah, man, I'm cool.